Hello students, welcome to online classes of Sri Mahavir International School, Kishangarh, Renwal. I hope you all are well at your home. Today we will discuss about second chapter of geography, that is land and soil resources. And we have discussed about some points of this chapter in previous video. We have discussed that about land resources and limitation of the land resources. Then after we have discussed that land use, what are the usage of land in we have discussed about these in previous video that the land are using for cultivation of crops, grazing of animals, mining activity, construction work like road, houses, buildings and other setting of industries. Then after we have discussed that there are two type of factor. Number first physical factor and number second human factor. And we have discussed that in physical factor are include soil, climate, natural vegetation, availability of water and minerals. And we have discussed some important regions like river plain, mountain slope, plateau area, and last we have discussed that human and economic factor. Then after we have discussed the conservation of land. What are the method that we can conserve the land like afforestation, planting of shelter belts, controlling soil erosion, check on overgrazing. All these are the method of conservation of land. Then after we have discussed about soil resources, and we have discussed that soil is the uppermost layer of the crust, and we have discussed about soil profile. And in soil profile there are four layers of the soil: topsoil, subsoil, substratum and bedrock. All these things we have discussed in previous video. Today we will discuss about soil formation. There are six major factors that determine soil formation. Number first, nature of the parent rock. The original rock from which the soil is formed is called the parent rock. First question is that what is parent rock? Parent rock, the original rock from which the soil is formed, means the soil is formed from the rocks, that the rocks is known as parent rock. The basic material of the soil and the minerals present in it will depend upon the type of parent rock. It means the minerals, the material that found in the soil is depend on the type of rocks. For example, clay soil is derived from shale, which is a type of rocks. It means shale is a type of rocks, and when the soil is formed from the shale, then there will be a clay soil, while sandy soils comes from the weathering of sandstones. And sandstone is also a rock, and the sandy soil is formed from the sandstone. Second factor, yeah, second point, climatic condition. The climatic condition, particularly temperature and precipitation, affect soil formation. It means next point, climatic condition. In climatic condition, the temperature and rainfall and snowfall also that affect soil formation. Greater variation of temperature and more moisture in air increase the rate of weathering, thereby accelerating the process of soil formation. It means variation in temperature and more moisture in atmosphere that also accelerate the weathering condition and the process of soil formation. Next one, topography. The topography or slope of the land in a particular region is also important. On a steep slope, the weathered rock particles cannot get deposited as they keep sliding down the slope under the force of gravity. It means in slopy area, the particles cannot remain at, at slope area and they slope down. It means they came down in the slopy area. On gentle slope and flat land, however, soil get accumulated easily, and these particles are accumulated, it means deposited on the flat area. Next point, humus. Humus or the dead remains of plants and animals provide organic matter to the soil and add to its fertility. It means humus and dead plants, dead remains of the plants and animals that include that aid the fertility in the soil. Next point, time. Time is a very big factor in the formation of soil, and we have discussed in previous chapter that soil formation is a very slow process, and approximately 2 or 3 centimeter soil formation it take approximately thousands of years. It gives maturity to the soil. The layer of older soil will be deeper than the newly formed one because they have taken a long time in their formation. Next point, agents of erosion. The various agents of erosion such as running water and wind also contribute in soil formation by depositing the material carried by them. It means agent of erosion or agent of erosion are running water, wind, and moving glacier also. These contribute the and these affect the soil formation. For example, the river plain are covered with fertile alluvial soil. Loessage is a type of soil deposited by wind. It means in river area there are alluvial soil, and loessage is also a type of soil that deposited by wind. Now we will discuss about types of soil. Soil are classified according to color and texture. It means soil is divided on the basis of color and texture. On the basis of color, there are black, red, brown, and gray soils. And on the basis of texture, soils are sandy, clay, and loamy. Now, on the color, there are many types like black, red, brown, and gray. And on the basis of texture, there are also many types like sandy, clay, and loamy. Sandy soils contain more than 60% of sand, while clay soil contain more than 60% of clay. Loamy soil has a balanced proportion of sand and clay. It means sandy soil that most of part covered with sand, and clay soil most of part covered clay, but loamy have a balanced proportion of sand and clay. Together with humus, it is the best soil for the cultivation of crops. Now, uh, how many types in soils of that found in India, that are there is a index that alluvial soils and how it is formed and characteristics, region and crop grown. The alluvial soil that form deposition of the sand and silts, characteristics sand, silts and clay very fertile, and region northern plain and the delta in South India, and crops that are grown in this soil are wheat, rice, maize, pulses, sugarcane, etc. Number second, black soil, that is also known as Ragur soil, and this formed by the weathering of the volcanic rocks, and its characteristics basalt and clay holds moisture, and its region Deccan Plateau, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, and crops that are grown in this soil cotton and sugar cane. Number third, soil red, that formed by the weathering of igneous rocks, and characteristics high iron content, cannot hold moisture, region Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, and crops oilseeds and millets. Next, laterite soil, also found in India, that formed by leaching process that remove humus, characteristics not fertile as organic part is removed, and region Eastern and Western Ghats and Northeast India, and crops, pasture and shrubs. And next, mountain soil that formed by the deposition of organic matter and characteristics fertile and rich in humus and region Himalaya region and Ghats, both Ghats western and eastern, and crops that are grown in this soil, fruits, tea, coffee and spices. And next soil that found in India is desert, and it formed by the deposition of sand in arid region like Rajasthan, and characteristics coarse, sandy, saline, and not fertile in region Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Ladakh. And the crop that grown in this soil is like bajra and jawar. Dear student, you will make this chart in your notebook of types of soils. Now, again, we will discuss about soil erosion. Soil erosion refers to the removal of the topsoil by running water and wind. It means removing of the soil by the moving water and wind. It causes the maximum loss of soil fertility, and due to the soil erosion, there are losses of soil fertility. This is so because all the minerals nutrients are present in the topsoil, and the reason is that all nutrients are present in the topsoil. Soil can be eroded by many ways. The two most common ways are sheet erosion and gully erosion. Now first we will discuss about sheet erosion. Sometime during heavy rainfall, the volume of runoff is very high. It means then there will be a heavy rainfall. The volume of water is very high. If the topsoil is not protected by sufficient plant cover, it is washed away by the force of surface runoff. This is known as sheet erosion. And due to the force of running water, the topsoil move from one place to another, and this is known as sheet erosion. Second, gully erosion. When rain fall heavily over an uneven terrain, the runoff scoop out narrow and deep grooves. It means deep gullies. When this gully erosion occur in the terrains, yeah, uneven region, it means slopy area or mountain area, and the running water create the deep grooves or gullies. With time, these grooves or gullies grow in size and spread over a large area, and by time passes, these grooves or gullies become broad in size. This is known as gully erosion, leading to the formation of ravines or badlands. The Chambal Valley in Madhya Pradesh is a good example of gully erosion, and the good example of this is Chambal River that create the gully erosion in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan also. Soil erosion is caused by both physical and human factor, and the two factors that create the soil erosion are one physical and second human factor. The physical factors include slope of the land, intensity of rainfall, and velocity of the wind. The human factor that contribute to soil erosion are deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemical fertilizer, over irrigation, and unscientific farming methods. These are the main factor of physical and human factor that create the soil erosion. Now next point, soil conservation. The soil is important resource, and how can we conserve it? The protection of soil from the harmful effects of erosion is called soil erosion. It means the conserving of the soil is known as the protection of the soil is known as soil conservation. The method used for conservation of soil are chosen according to the local environment. These are some of them, and some methods that we can conserve the soil. Number first, afforestation. Afforestation is the most effective method to conserve soil. Reckless cutting down of trees should be stopped. It means human being cutting the trees carelessly, then we can stop it. And more trees, shrubs and grasses should be planted. It means we grow more planted shrubs and trees in dry area where wind erosion is common. Row of trees and shrubs should be planted to check the velocity of the wind. These are called shelter belt. And in dry area we can grow trees in a row that we can control the speed or velocity of the wind. This is known as shelter belt. Second point, overgrazing by cattle, sheep and goats should be controlled as the land become exposed to the rain and wind. Fodder should also be grown as a crops. It means we can control the overgrazing of goats, sheep, etc. And fodder should be grown in the land area. Terrace farming is very effective in the conserving soil in mountain region, and we can control soil erosion in mountain region by doing terrace farming. The hill slope are cut into terraces so that the speed at which the rainwater flow down is reduced and crop are grown on these terraces. Next point, contour plugging is the method of plugging field along the natural contour of the hill rather than up and down the slopes. This check the flow of the water. Next point, strip cropping is the method of growing different crops. It means cover crops alternating with cultivated crop in narrow strip usually along the natural contour of the land. Next point, crop rotation is a system of cultivating different crops on the same land in each year. It means the farmers do the cultivation of different crops in a year. As different crops need different minerals from the soil, this prevents any one type of nutrients from being extracted from the soil. And next, bunding the field along the rivers reduce soil erosion during floods. And last, construction of dam can prevent floods by controlling the flow of water. These are the method of the conservation of soil. So dear student, I think you have understand about land resource and soil resources. Now you will do the question answer of this chapter in your SST notebook, but question number A, B, C or D you will fill in your book, and question number E, F or G you will do the answer of these questions in your SST notebook. Thank you and have a nice day.